All right. Good afternoon. My name is Amber Warren. Welcome to today's webinar. I am the Employer Outreach Coordinator at GoTriangle, servicing Wake County and some of the surrounding areas. Today, we will talk about van pooling in the Triangle and a new program that Commute with Enterprise is proposing for the region to better serve hybrid workers or those who only commute in the office a few days a week. Please note that we are recording and live transcription is enabled. The recording of today's session will be shared in the next 24 to 48 hours. All attendees will be muted during the presentation. However, we encourage you to ask questions. To submit those questions, please use the Q&A button at the bottom of the page and feel free to put your questions in as we go along. We will take the time to go through them once our speaker has finished her presentation. Our program is a regional partnership with like-minded organizations throughout the region seeking to reduce single occupancy vehicle travel. The programming offers transportation expertise and complementary assistance to businesses, residential communities, and commercial properties to give them a competitive edge to combat air pollution and congestion mitigation. Together, we support over 160 employees in the region, representing over 150,000 Triangle commuters. Our services and programs have significant impacts on commuting patterns, traffic congestion, personal health, and air quality in the Triangle. Our grant funded services, programs, and materials are all provided through a partnership of municipalities and public transportation agencies. We obtain these results by promoting sustainable travel options like carpool, vanpool, biking, pedestrian safety, and transit. Our supportive services, like the Emergency Ride Home Program and Go Perks Incentive Program, help travel behaviors changes stick. The Emergency Ride Home Program provides commuters with a reliable backup ride home in case of unexpected emergencies such as illness, a family emergency, or unexpected overtime, ensuring a peace of mind for those who are using sustainable transit options like van pooling, carpooling, or public transit. This is a free service that helps remove one of the biggest barriers when choosing sustainable commuting options. Go Perks is an incentive program that gives away over $400 in gift cards and prizes every month. To learn more about ERH and Go Perks, visit gotriangle.org/employer services, and that link will be in the chat. All right, the Vanpool program began in 1985 under the management of Triangle J Council of Governments, currently known as Central Pines Regional Council. In 1991, the program was transferred to Triangle Transit, the regional public transit agency, which we now know as GoTriangle. GoTriangle is the major van pool provider for Durham, Orange, and Wake counties. Drivers and riders must commute to or from our service area, which includes Durham, Wake, and Orange County. The program was contracted out to Commute with Enterprise in 2018. And Enterprise manages the program, which includes leasing vehicles to interested drivers and invoicing the van pools monthly. All insurance is covered as a part of the agreement with the drivers. Enterprise also maintains and manages the vans, which includes all maintenance that is needed. There are 7, 12, and 15 passenger vehicles used in the fleet. The fare is based on the number of daily round trips, miles traveled, maintenance, and insurance. Fuel costs are paid by the drivers, by the riders as well. GoTriangle pays up to 30% in subsidies per van pool each month to help with the monthly cost. Currently, we have 143 van poolers and 28 vans traveling across the Triangle. Together, they've traveled 203,454 miles in February alone. All right. There are also traditional van pools in which a minimum of 4 people ride together in a late model vehicle from an agreed upon location to work. Next, we'll learn from Commute with Enterprise about their newest innovation, a van pool solution for hybrid workers. Our featured speaker today is Talitha Walter. Talitha started her career with Enterprise in the state of New York in March of 2015. After 1 year and a promotion to assistant manager, Talitha relocated to North Carolina as the assistant manager at Raleigh's flagship location. In 2018, Talitha became a branch manager and continued to successfully grow through promotion and daily rental. In 2023, Talitha moved into the role of Commute sales executive for the state of North Carolina. In this role, she focuses on helping organizations provide transportation solutions for their employees with a focus on sustainability and equity. Welcome, Talitha.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, like Amber said, my name is Talitha Walter. I am about to hit my 10-year anniversary with Enterprise Mobility. Started up in New York. I grew up in Vermont. So, New York, Vermont, Connecticut, New Jersey, they're all part of one enterprise group. So, jumped around there for my first year, relocated here, and spent most of that time in daily rental. But 2 years ago, the opportunity for Commute presented itself. At the time, I had no idea what van pooling was, didn't even know it was something that Enterprise offered. But here I am today, 2 years later. As Amber said, I do run the Vanpool program for GoTriangle that is contracted out to us. I work very closely with Amber, with Kim Johnson, as well as Vanessa Battle. So thanks again, everybody, for taking the time to jump on this with us today. We are excited about a new feature of Vanpool. We call this flexible Vanpool to address more of the hybrid work schedule, as we're seeing that become pretty popular since the pandemic. I'll get on with it. Quick agenda for today, our conversation. I'm going to do a brief overview of enterprise mobility, who we are, what we do. We'll look at a couple different trends that we're seeing across the country when it comes to commuters. We'll look at the solution for those current trends that we're seeing through the Vanpool program. And then we'll walk through briefly what implementation looks like and what our support on our end looks like when we do go into partnership with different organizations. I want to preface this conversation by saying our Vanpool solution is a customizable program. So first steps when we sit down with an organization really is to learn as much about that organization as we can, what their current challenges are, what their needs are, and then any goals or priorities that they have for that year. And then we build our Vanpool program based on that conversation. So Enterprise has been in the transportation business now for over 65 years. And in that time, we've really established a strong reputation for not just prioritizing people, but pushing mobility forward. As most of you know, in the last 65 years, the landscape of mobility has certainly transformed, but so have we. We've continued to roll with the punches. We started with a small fleet of 7 vehicles, and we are now evolved into a comprehensive network of mobility solutions worldwide. We are still a family-owned business today, with our founder taking a very simple approach to the business, and it was to actively listen to our customers' needs, really get to understand those needs so that we can develop methods and programs to meet those specific needs. This has resulted in a diverse portfolio that includes some very recognizable brands. I'm sure some of you will recognize these. Probably what we're best known for, Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We've got truck rental, fleet management, business rental, Enterprise car sales, and of course, what we're here to talk about today, Commute with Enterprise van pooling. Commute with Enterprise has been operating now for over 30 years, and it was really designed to provide both the employer and the employee with the flexibility and the support necessary to make that daily commute more of a shared experience, but also more of a positive experience. We are the largest van pool provider in the nation, and we are continually striving to enhance our program. Some of the things that we look at while enhancing are convenience, ease of use, cost effectiveness, and of course, what does this program and how does this program impact the environment around us? We are currently operating over 10,000 van pools and serve 60,000 participants across the country. You can see there the emissions that we have helped reduce, but the big number that we hear time and time again is the cost money savings piece for the individual consumer. Last year was $724 million of commuter savings. This is not something that we do alone, and a lot of our success is really grounded in our partnerships. We do team up with public transit agencies, as you know, GoTriangle being one of our big partners, but we have transit programs in over 100 markets across the country. Not only do we partner with government and transit agencies, but we do collaborate with work sites, right? So we go to different organizations to teach them about the Commute program. Um, we are currently working with over 1,500 work sites in the US. These are some of our more notable partners on the screen. Recognizable to you probably in this area would be Pfizer. We service them out in Rocky Mount. We do have a couple Pilgrims locations across the state. And then Chevron is another large national organization. But all of these partners have invested in implementing commuter benefit programs for their people and do subsidize large portions of the program, if not all of the program costs. So what are we seeing when it comes to the trends across the country? So as you can imagine, there are many factors that influence how individuals select their modes of transportation, and then what each individual prioritizes when they are looking at those transportation options. There's a couple of things on this screen that stick out to me, but probably stick out to you as well. Recent surveys have shown that the average employee is allocating 19% of their annual salary just to transportation expenses for the year, which, you know, when you break that down, you're looking at 100,000. Let's talk about a good living, a good salary, $100,000 salary. $19,000 of that is going right to transportation. So, you know, we've all been to the grocery store lately. We know we've been to the gas pumps lately. With the economy where it sits today, people are trying to cut their expenses at every turn. And there's a lot of pressure on finding more cost-effective solutions to everyday life. This, of course, includes how employees get to and from their job. As many of you know, there is a huge push to return to office, not just at the federal level, but at private organizations as well. You know, we have partners who have put millions of dollars into renovating their facilities just for us to get hit with COVID and everyone goes to work from home. So now that we're on the other side of the pandemic, that push to work is strong, and it's not been as easy for these organizations to get people back to the office. And there's a lot of challenges that organizations are facing because of that. Preference for driving. You know, you're always going to have people who prefer to drive, but with costs going up, vehicles aging out, parking difficulties on work sites, that's another big trend that we're seeing in the commute world. And then all of these kind of domino into time efficiency and traffic congestion, right? So with the push to the return to office, we all know what it looks like out there on I-40. It's wild pretty much all times of the day. And with that push to return to office, that's just going to get increasingly worse. So how do these trends that we're seeing in commute actually impact employers? There are a lot of things that impact employers when it comes to what we would consider visible costs, but some of the invisible costs as well, right? So we're seeing on average that parking spaces are running anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 a year to maintain. And as the needs and expectations of commuters change, employers are starting to face less visible costs. This is what we refer to as those invisible costs. So the cost to recruit new talent, right? So we're seeing with that push to return to office that people are looking elsewhere. You have tenured employees in organizations that are looking elsewhere for more flexible work from home. So we're starting to see an uptick in that. And on average, in the triangle, the cost to recruit new talent is $10,000. So anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 is the cost to recruit and then onboard and train a new employee when you lose an employee. So what's the solution? As many of you are very familiar with what we would refer to as traditional van pooling, we will always have traditional van pooling, right? So we understand that that is something that's always going to be in existence because not everyone is tech savvy. Not everyone wants to control their work device. So here are some changes that we are making to van pooling. We call this flexible van pooling. So traditional van pool looks something like this. We connect anywhere from 4 to 15 employees that live in a similar area or take the same route into work every day. With our new program, we are going to connect employees together very similarly, but this time we will be using an app. That app is live today, but the groups will work together and rotate driving. The more drivers, the better, but participants can also choose to just be a rider as well if that's something that they prefer. What's great about this is that the commute group is going to enjoy all the benefits of sharing a ride. Through the commute, we provide everything they need is there for a safe and reliable commute. So included in the new program, fuel and tolls, will be included. Similar to the old program, we do still provide all of the insurance. We handle 24/7 roadside assistance as well as all maintenance on the vehicle. Now, though, participants will be able to self-serve through the app for very specific details of what their actual subscription will look like. So you'll see on this screen all of the tools that are going to be included in the app. But this really works as like a co-pilot to the program. So riders will be able to manage their experience, update their profile, they can update payment, manage their schedule, check in for their commute trips. And then drivers will be able to change any preferences when it comes to their driving schedule. They'll be able to look at the daily rosters, who they'll be picking up today versus yesterday. Navigation will be included in that, roadside assistance, if that's something that is needed at the time. They can do all of that right through the handheld app. So it goes without saying that employees love the Vanpool program, even the traditional Vanpool program. But as we move into engaging with employees who, that traditional 5-day a week doesn't work for them, talking about the flex and the hybrid schedule where they can select what days they want to pay for in a month, we believe is vital to the growth of the program and the health of the program. So organizational leaders, typically when we sit down, they find a lot of value in supporting the program, whether that looks like supporting it financially or just supporting the program on a marketing level. The effectiveness of this program really lies within how much we can market it and how much we can get out and engage with your people. Our program does help provide competitive advantages for our partners when it comes to the recruiting piece, right? So, when you have an organization that already has one of these Vanpool programs in place, their recruiting efforts can be extended because they have transportation already set up. And, we're seeing with surveys coming out that one of the most common reasons that employees are leaving jobs and looking for new jobs, as I mentioned a couple slides before, is they're looking for less of a commute or no commute at all. So really, this program helps with the employee wellness piece. It really goes to show, these organizations that we have partnerships in. They practice what they preach. You can say all day that you care about your employees, you care about saving your employees money, but when you actually put programs into place that impact your employees on a substantial cost savings level, it really goes a long ways. On average, in 2023, we did save moving someone from a single occupancy vehicle into a van pool over $6,000 that year. $6,000. I'm pretty sure anyone on this call could figure out pretty quickly what they could do with an extra $6,000. So what does implementation and support look like on our end? We do this we take this approach in 3 basic steps. Step 1, one of the very vital things to getting a good look at the employee base is something that we call a mapping analysis. So this really eliminates the guesswork and allows us to take a targeted approach to set up van pools and targeted meetings where we can engage with your employees. We take this information and we build the support, establish goals, budgets for the program. So once we've identified the common commute groups or the common routes that people are taking into work, we do formalize our partnership with an organization with something that we call a commute partnership agreement. This is really going to outline what our commitment to you as a partner is, launching the program, managing the program, and then we also outline the support that we need from you as an organization to how we get this program up off the ground and running efficiently. And the last step, once we execute that partnership agreement, we work together with the organization on a detailed step-by-step launch plan. We will set up communication, marketing announcements, but really this step is how are we going to engage with your employees? What's that going to look like? And we also establish, set up regular meeting cadence to ensure that we're working together to help you hit those goals and priorities that you have for your business. I have a little video here that I'd love to play. Everyone is going to get a copy of this, though. I would definitely, this is something you can see on our website currently. Definitely watch it. It gives just it's a 2-minute blurb of how we're going to form these van pools with the app. Yeah, just to recap the program, when we meet with different organizations, we really want to leave those meetings with them knowing full well that we are there for them every step of the way. This is a customized solution, as I said. For these partnerships to be successful, we do rely on each organization and their team for program support, for endorsement, and really for access to the employees. But on their end, they can count on us that we will come to them with a customized plan. We've got plenty of marketing to share, onboarding, fleet driver management, and then transparent billing. Very similar to the traditional program, which many of you are familiar with. This is just a 30-day, this is 30 days. If you're riding whether it's a traditional van pool or a flex van pool, and all of a sudden something in life changes and the van pool doesn't work out for you anymore, it's just a 30-day notice and you're off and you can join back on whenever you would like. So we are continuing to enhance the program, making it as flexible as possible. I would, like I said, this is customizable. Please reach out to me if anyone is interested in looking at a quote for your organization specifically or would like more details. This is kind of a high-level overview of what the program looks like. But yeah, we're here. We're excited for it, and thanks for taking the time with me today.
All right, we are going to move on to questions. We do have a few questions here in the chat. All right, let's see. The first one. So how does it work for hybrid workers on different schedules?
So that's going to be all based within the app. And I apologize again for the video. That does a pretty good job of kind of showing you step by step how the app actually finds people and plugs them in. Because it is brand new, we just rolled it out, I think 3 weeks ago at this point, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Building the van pools is going to take a little bit of time to make sure there are enough drivers to cover every single day that the van pool is in operation. But the app is smart enough to build the routes. And then our operations team that I have here in Raleigh, they go through, I'm sorry, and verify it all. And then we're ready to deliver the vehicle.
Okay. I hope that answered your question. Also, they're asking if you could discuss pickup and drop off times and locations, I guess how that works, how it all ties in together.
So that's going to be customizable to each van pool that goes on the road. Very similar to the traditional van pool where myself as well as my operations team, when we get a group of individuals that are looking to start a van pool, we work with them one-on-one to find whether or not they want to look, do you guys want to all meet at a park and ride at this time every day? Is it better for you to go house to house? We've seen in the more rural areas that a lot of our van pools go, A, B, C, D, E to the workplace. So that's decided among the group specifically, and we work with them to get that set up.
Okay. All right. And what about the cost to start a van pool?
The financial piece is going to be customizable. So if you're looking
Okay.
specifically for quotes, please send me an email separately. I'd love to set up a meeting with you to actually break it down. The nice thing is if you're an organization that sits within Wake, Durham, or Orange, you do get the negotiated GoTriangle rate. And then, of course, they do pay the first 30% of it. So
Mhm.
that takes quite a bit of money right off the top. But for actual pricing, that would be a separate meeting.
All right, I do have another one. How do you work with the riders to keep the van pool supplied with the riders?
So that's a great question because right now, with traditional van pool, moving forward with our flex model, that'll all be handled within the app. So if there at any time are van pools that are pending low occupancy or pending, we're looking at the app is smart enough to gauge, hey, there's not a driver for next Thursday. That's when our ops team gets involved and makes sure to fill in those gaps. What that looks like now with traditional van pool is just active conversations with each van pool group. And that's something that my operations team handles on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. Is there a little bit more information to provide regarding the app?
You tell me what kind of information you're looking for, and I am more than happy to send it your way. Um, I will tell you, if you go to commutewithenterprise.com, they should have they've been working on every day there's something new on commutewithenterprise.com. So they have the app video on there. Um, but whoever asked that question, if you email me separately, I'm more than happy to share it with you, what I've got on it.
Okay. And they're also asking if the DAC has a contact.
As in like a point of contact for Department of Corrections, do I have a contact for them? Is that what you're asking, Sheree?
She said yes.
Okay. Yes, I can get that for you. I don't have it in front of me, but yes, I do have a list of contacts there. As well as, yeah, Department of Corrections. We actually have an account with Butner Prisons as well. So
Okay,
yeah,
let's
if you
see.
email me, um, that I will forward that information to you.
All right, and they're also asking, this is different, about a point of contact for North Carolina State University.
Yeah, I do have a point of contact for NCSU too. Are you guys, so
Okay.
let me clarify here what you all are looking for. Are you wondering if I've had conversations with these organizations? Um, these are anonymous, that's why I'm asking. So I do have a couple of contacts at North Carolina State that I've been working closely with, as well as UNC. I'm wondering if you want those points of contact or if you're just wondering if I've been in touch with them.
Okay, that was a yes.
Okay. Because I'm thinking,
Um,
how many, I don't know if I can give you guys all this contact information, these individuals, but yes.
okay, I also have a oh, okay. So I'm actually going to give the floor to Mary Caroline to ask her question.
Hi, I had been asking, well, I typed one of the questions in terms of the UNC part. I think for me, my question may be relevant to others, but I got this as a notice as if it was something that was a viable current available option. And I assumed that this would be more targeted towards something immediately plausible for someone that's trying to commute right now, and work within their what options are provided by their employer. And this seems kind of like it's more a presentation and directed towards those that would be able to activate and disseminate that information to a community, a specific community. I think that's why you're getting the questions you're getting, because that's where I'm a little lost in the sauce here.
Okay. There's actually, you're bringing up a very good point because there's a couple of things going on right now that are at play. This is a brand new program for Commute with Enterprise. So it
Mhm.
is live with Commute with Enterprise as of a couple weeks ago, this flex option. The reason that it's um, explained as proposed is because to get the GoTriangle subsidy, that's actually an amendment to the agreement that we have with GoTriangle. So the new van pools that are going out, these flex van pools, will not fall under the GoTriangle subsidy until that gets signed off on. Um, you can get into a van pool at any time currently. The subsidy piece is kind of what's at play. But if you are with an organization and you have transportation benefits, you can absolutely use them for van pool. Traditional, flexible, whatever. That is live today. The reason that this is portrayed more like on an organizational level is because we do like to sit down with organizations and see if there is a subsidy available to offer their people um, to help with the pricing.
Gotcha. Because to me, as the viewer watching this, based on the way it was presented, it sounds like I have two avenues. I have an avenue that I could go down, and it would be routed as me just independently, proactively, as my own commuter self, trying to resolve my commute um, trek across the triangle in whatever direction that may be, and doing it, finding others that share that regardless of the institution or employer that they're working with. And then there's the go through the route of first seeing what's available through the employer. And so as someone watching this, I'm going, I'm not even sure what my best next step is, even if I wanted to participate. Um, so yeah, it seems like you're presenting two options. Is that wrong? Or and what would be your best advice if you were trying to go the employer route specifically? And follow-up question, if you were willing to entertain van pooling with people that weren't part of your employer community, I assume that would further lean towards the other option of just proactively going as an individual, or does
Yeah,
that make any sense?
it might be helpful to give you some real life examples. So yeah, we currently have many different organizations that we partner with in the triangle. What happens is GoTriangle pays for the first 30% of the van pool. We have several partners in the triangle who cover the entire cost of the program for their employees. It's just an added thing that they put right on their benefits package. So that's why we try to go to the organization instead of the individual, because this is always going to be an option for the individual. What we're trying to do is to buy down the cost for the individual by going to their employer first. Um, so I hope that answers your question. Yes, a good example of multiple organizations using the same van pool are business parks. So at NCEPA and NIEHS, they all sit in a like similar business park area. They are two separate organizations. Their employees combine in van pools together to ride in.
Okay, so what are you prescribing to us as the viewers of this content is what you would suggest our best course of action if we wanted to participate in this program?
If you want to participate right now in the program, go onto the website, sign up. If you live in a route where there are existing van pools, you can jump on any existing van pool as long as it matches your route. So the goal is to get as many van pools on the road so that you, Mary, as an individual, there are so many van pools in operation that there's one for you to get on that matches your route.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you guys so much for your questions. We do have another. If an individual using Flex and would like to transition to a traditional Vanpool, what is the possible turnaround to switch?
I mean, we could do that pretty quickly. I'd need to know the situation specifically. I'm not sure why you'd want to do it that way, but yeah, I mean, we could make that happen if you wanted to move from flex to traditional. Turnaround time would be 30 days, I would say, because you're going to be contracted to one van for 30 days.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's a pretty easy swap.
All right. If you have been waiting to get matched with a Vanpool for a while and still haven't been matched, is there something the commuter can do or contact to try to get matched?
That's a great question. That's kind of my whole point, what I was just explaining to Mary. We're trying to get as many van pools on the road right now so that if you have tried to get matched, the grand plan is that one day, it's big enough where you can just jump on a van pool. Where we sit today, there are only 25 van pools in GoTriangle, so that's going to take some time. Takes a lot of conversations with different businesses and organizations to get us there. But that's the grand plan. Unfortunately, there's my operations team, as well as Share the Ride NC, goes through those leads constantly to see if we can match them to van pools. There just are not enough right now. I wish I had a better answer for that.
All right.
Talk to your friends, see if they want to join a van pool with you. Word of mouth is the best marketing.
That is true. All right. I also have Amanda Simmons. She has a question, and I'm giving her the floor now.
Hi, yes, this is Amanda. I'm transportation planner and TDM manager at NC State University, and I just wanted to let you know if anyone is interested in starting a van pool at NC State, feel free to reach out to me. It's Amanda_Simmons at ncsu.edu, and I work closely with GoTriangle and Talitha to help bring van pools to our community. Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda.
All right. Thank you so much, Amanda. Let's see. Are any of the vehicles wheelchair accessible?
We can set that up. We don't have any currently in operation right now, but yes, that is something we can do.
All right. And I'm just putting,
Whole team of folks that handles that.
all right, putting Amanda's information there in the chat so you guys can connect with her for all of your NCSU travel needs. Let's see. Did I get everyone? Oh, I see your comment, Robert, about the contact for NCSU. Yep, Samantha, Amanda's definitely a great starting point.
We do have a partnership with NCSU in our business rental side of things. We don't have a commute program with them currently, but we have in the past. We set up there were some bus stop issues that we set up seasonal van pools for the State University. So yeah, like Amanda said, if you're interested in starting one there, please reach out to her. I see her once a month, so can definitely get that rolling.
All right. And also reach out to us if you need need to be connected with any of the TDM programs in the area. All right. Moving right along. Up next is our Around the World Commuter Challenge. We are encouraging smart commuters from around the Triangle to use smart modes of travel and track their trips in our ride matching program, Share the Ride NC. Registration is open and the challenge begins March 17th. To get more information about the challenge and to sign up, visit sharetheridendc.org, and that link will also be in the chat. Well, all right. If that's all of your questions, thank you all for joining us today. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us, Talitha. The new Flex Vanpool program sounds amazing. Our contact information will also be in the chat for Talitha and I. Please feel free to reach out with any questions or comments. Also be on the lookout for an email from us with the link regarding the session today of the recording. Feel free to review this discussion, share with others with whom it would be beneficial to. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of the day.